This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Our days-long stretch of dangerous heat is still holding strong this evening. The heat index well into the 100s, but there is an end in sight. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. We remain in a weather alert. Some relief is on the way this weekend, but we still have a couple of days to go to feel it. Let's get right over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
Yeah, our peak heat index this afternoon in St. Louis officially 114 degrees. And of course, you know, heat has that cumulative effect on our bodies. So it's been hot since Sunday when the heat index topped out at 116. So we're still looking at triple-digit heat indices heading through the evening hours. We have some high clouds overhead. That's about it. We had a little bit of fog develop early this morning. Odds are we won't see that much fog tonight because of the high clouds drifting overhead. But those high clouds essentially can act like a blanket and keep temperatures a degree or two warmer as well. Right now, we're at 96 with the heat index of 111 officially from St. Louis Lambert International. Locally, there's a few spots where the heat index is slightly higher, could be approaching 120 in some spots, but no matter how you slice it, it's hot and it's miserable. We all need to stay hydrated and take it easy in this kind of heat. Temperatures will be dropping back into the upper 80s by 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, but it's a slow drop, and those heat index values still stay above 90 until well after midnight.
And the extreme heat, Scott, is sending people to the hospital, and the hottest days of the week are still ahead.
Yeah, 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live at Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur. How many cases, Diamond, has the hospital seen this week?
Good evening, Kelly. Now, while Mercy Hospital can't tell exactly how many cases, they do say there are a mild amount of cases that are happening here, a very small number of cases. And they want to warn people as this heat is going to last through Friday, what and not to do when it comes to this heat.
Another day of excessive heat means another day of hospitals dealing with patients battling heat exhaustion.
Most of the heat-related things that we're seeing right now are just mild heat exhaustion, where people get a little bit overheated, need some fluids, cool down. Nothing too extreme right now.
Dr. John Fortney, the emergency department attending physician for Mercy Hospital St. Louis, says when cases are extreme, patients require IV fluids. This week, he says while he can't pinpoint an exact number, they've all been mild cases, requiring old-school cooling tactics.
We typically cool people by spraying them with water and fans that causes the evaporation of the water off the skin, and that cools the body down relatively quickly. And then we backtrack and see if there's any other comorbidities, health issues, like they might have had a heart attack, a stroke, or something else that might have precipitated this, medications, alcohol, drugs, etc.
And because of the extended grip the heat has had on the city, Dr. Fortney believes people are hyper aware, therefore keeping the cases low.
I think when there's just one day, actually, people tend to be a little more careless.
As St. Louis continues to heat up, Mercy Hospital wants people to listen to their body for the signs of heat illnesses, including things like heat cramps, fainting, and oftentimes no sweating.
Now, Mercy Hospital does want to remind people at home to check on elderly individuals in your life, as well as not leaving pets and children in vehicles. Live in Creve Coeur, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
And for information on how to keep cool in this heat, just text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355.
Tonight, we have new information about a hostage situation at the St. Louis City Justice Center. The violent attack led to a 73-year-old corrections officer being sent to the hospital after a group of inmates held him against his will.
5 on your side's Travis Cummings is live outside the jail in downtown St. Louis to share. What did you learn today, Travis?
Kelly, Mike, this afternoon, St. Louis police confirmed that they have 5 people in custody who were all involved in yesterday's incident. We do know that at least 3 of them are awaiting trial for murder, and others are charged with things like kidnapping and robbery. Now, this all started on the 4th floor yesterday at 6 a.m. when the corrections officer let one of the inmates out of his cell to help hand out breakfast trays. A law enforcement source says one inmate then struck the officer in the head and another hit him after he fell to the ground. Both inmates then dragged the guard into the showers, took his mace, keys, and handcuffed him to the shower area. The inmates took the guard's radio and began complaining about a lack of hot food and demanded pizza and chicken patties in exchange for the guard's release. Today, we heard from an attorney with clients inside the facility. While he doesn't condone the inmates' actions, he says conditions in the jail must improve.
It's a dangerous world for the guards, but it's also a dangerous world on the inside for some of the people that are being housed there. And, just that simple spark sets it off. You can diffuse a lot of that. You can put some of that to rest with proper resources.
Now, we spoke to the corrections officer daughter who says that her dad had a busted lip and concussion. Meanwhile, the 5 inmates involved here are being housed still at the City Justice Center. They could face charges relating from felonious restraint to assault. We're live in downtown St. Louis. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
St. Louis police are investigating a sexual assault near St. Louis University. This happened late Tuesday night at the Coronado Apartments on Lindell, just off campus. A university spokesperson tells us a student reported being sexually assaulted by someone who may be employed at the Coronado, and a suspect is now in custody.
A man is charged with a kidnapping that sparked an Amber Alert out of North St. Louis County. Police say Kendall White and another person kicked in the door of a woman's home on Marbella Drive August 10th to confront someone about stolen property. But police say the victim had nothing to do with any stolen property. They allegedly hit her in the head with a gun and took her 2-year-old child. Police say White later abandoned the child with strangers. White is charged with kidnapping, assault, burglary, and armed criminal action.
Tonight, critics are pushing back against gun control legislation that's been considered in St. Louis. Missouri's Attorney General claims the proposed laws supported by Mayor Tashara Jones are unconstitutional.
5 on your side's Mercedes McKay spoke with the Attorney General just hours ago. She's live in studio with more.
Mike and Kelly, Attorney General Andrew Bailey says Mayor Tashara Jones' gun legislation would violate Missourians' constitutional right to keep and bear arms. The mayor introduced these proposals just yesterday during a gun violence roundtable. Now, during that discussion, Mayor Jones announced she was working with city aldermen to introduce several new gun safety measures in the coming days. Some of that anticipated legislation includes prohibiting military-grade weapons on city streets, preventing the transfer or sale of guns to minors, and taking action on ghost guns and similar untraceable firearms. Now, in the past 24 hours, critics have come out and said this is an overreach. Missouri's Attorney General announcing on Twitter his office put Mayor Jones on, quote, notice, adding that he would fight this proposed legislation and Missourians have a right to defend themselves.
Article 1, Section 23 of the Missouri Constitution, creates a ceiling on those rights and also gives authority to the General Assembly. And the General Assembly has preempted what the mayor's trying to do. So it's unconstitutional for her to move forward on that proposal. And we wanted to make sure she understood that before taking an unconstitutional act.
The Attorney General says he's calling on the mayor to cease and desist. He says he will have to wait and see what actually gets passed before he will take any legal action. Now, coming up at 6, I'll explain what critics of these proposals believe is a better solution for the gun violence in our city.
Mercedes, thanks. The revolt leader is dead following a plane crash in Russia, and it's leading to speculation against the Kremlin.
More than 1,000 people could still be missing in Maui. The new plan search crews are using to try and find them.
Protecting your pet can get expensive. Tonight, Consumer Reports rates your insurance options.